What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First off to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
We're here, coming off the long weekend.
Yes, sir. Feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. To my left, Mr. Brendan Dunne.
Hi, what's up?
How we doing?
I got a lot of things on my mind.
I know.
We don't have to get into them here right now. But
yeah, he's I tried to calm my boy down, but it's okay.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Appreciate that always.
How's it going besides your internal strife? You know?
I'm okay. Yeah, a lot of strife. I might hop out and buy some sneakers on the resale market, which is something I almost never do.
Wow.
Corteiz Nike Air Max 95.
We saw this. The price went up. What did our friend Fat Joe say?
What was your quote? Why do I have to spend $500 to buy these shoes?
It was me asking myself the question of whether or not I really have to jump out there and spend. I think they're around $500 right now on resale.
This shoe's interesting because I think we can all agree that it was one of the bigger sneaker moments of the year so far, and especially the second pair, the black and pink that dropped at the bodega in New York City, where I don't know how many released online, but it felt like pretty limited, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think we checked after, and not that the resale is the depiction of how popular a shoe is all the time, but the prices were like kind of low.
I feel like early on you could get them for around $300.
I got an extra pair,
yeah, and
I got someone else a pair for around $300.
But I was thinking, I'm like, it didn't seem like they made that many of them, So I'm like, why is the shoe so low if it didn't feel like there's like 100,000
It felt like
pairs.
A shoe that was more scarce than was reflected in a $300 resale price. Yeah, and now a couple months later, that was a prescient thought from you because now it's a $500 shoe.
There was the third one, the Aegean Sea, where they had the release in France.
Yep, Le Bleu.
Yeah.
Nice. You speak French?
I took French in high school.
Oh, really? I was not expecting that.
My teacher's name, she changed her name to Miss French.
Oh, you did brought that story up, yeah.
Je ne sais quoi.
But yeah, there was the kids. There was the kids on top of like the buses, and whatnot. Like,
I want to be a part of that.
Shoes.
I want a pair.
Come on, join the club.
You think for $500?
It's worth it.
It's been a long time since I spent $500 on a pair of sneakers.
If you were in that situation where like the kids are on top of the buses and all the mayhem, are you willing to like step in and throw an elbow to get in front of someone for a shoe?
No, he wouldn't do that.
No, you know I'm a pretty nonviolent person.
He wouldn't.
So,
he wouldn't. You, on the other hand,
but
maybe.
if you're seeing like if you're coming up.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes. I'm in the zone right now. Paint a picture for me.
No, I'm saying if sometimes they say like you see red, but you're like seeing the shoes in your vision. Mm-hmm. That's all that's in front of you, and you're like, I need to get in front of this person to get the shoes. Are you gonna take that step forward and get a little pushy or not?
Probably not. Okay. I'm not a pushy person. I pride myself on that.
What about you? Maybe if you didn't have your Think bar that morning, the protein bar, maybe you wanted.
I feel like
you wanted.
Here's the thing.
All that training isn't for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people say. Not that I'm not talking about getting violent. I'm not talking about like intentionally like hurting or harming people, but just kind of like being caught in the scramble,
the hysteria,
of it,
the frenzy,
where everyone's just like running forward, and you're like, I need to get in front of everyone because I just want to get the shoe. I feel like a lot of people maybe
some animal instinct kicks in,
and you're like, I'm running towards it because I want the sneakers, not because I'm trying to hurt people.
Well, he's a runner, so he may
Saber-tooth tiger vibes.
Yeah, he may just be able to outpace everyone.
95 Air Max
running downtown. He may have ran downtown from 34th Street where the billboard was. Maybe you just outran him.
You know what? The other thing, to be honest, as transparent as possible, I would probably also be too prideful in that moment of being like, I'm Brendan Dunne from Complex.
Wow.
Look, this is embarrassing to say, but I wouldn't be busting my ass at a sneaker release like that because I would feel like it hurt my image,
Speaking of Air Max, something that I think you brought to attention last week, and I noticed it again last night. Nike's talking about having a problem shifting shoes lately. Gold 97s released back in March.
Yes.
And there's still a full size run of that sneaker on Nike.com.
Yeah, who had them up for sale?
I saw them on Sneaker
Notra
Politics.
website, right? Like
they're like $105. I think retail's like
half off. Yeah,
$185.
I saw them on a website, and they were cheaper than they were at the employee store last time I went. And I was pretty close to scooping up a pair because I don't think I have gold Air Max 97s. think I have a silver pair sitting around dead stock somewhere.
I do.
I have like a silver. I know you do, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I think I have.
You got the Italian ones too. You got them all.
You got the Italian ones
What Italian ones?
with the Italian flag on the tongue?
No.
Dude, that's one of the best.
I'm pretty sure you bought that shoe.
I don't have that.
Not the Italian gold.
So
or the
that was
Italian
like one
silver?
of the. There was a lot of times back in the old days where like he would be like, "Oh man, did you see these Air Maxes 97s with the Italian flag on the tongue?" And I would immediately try to buy them, and then by lunch I would forget about it.
Oh, I thought.
For
some reason I thought you had ended up.
I remember that. Like I remember that specific day. He would like tell me about a sneaker. I'd be like, "Oh man, I need those." I would like go look for them online.
Secondary market resale.
Probably. Yeah. I would get called into a meeting.
And
then I would come back, have my chirping chicken, and forget all about the Italian Air Max 97s. That was one of the things that happened.
Did you get the Inter Milan 97s, the black and blue ones?
I'm searching for those.
You have somebody on it. You have somebody trying to track them down.
Both of those shoes, though,
and I know it's not looking good. And
they're not easy to find. I don't think.
When they came out, you were like, no one's going to be able to get them unless it was friends and family or overseas. And then I was like, really? Like I figured. I figured it would be possible, and now it doesn't look possible.
And I think that they were like maybe available on like Nike Italy or something like that, and then maybe like Inter Milan's like web shop. And I was like, dude, they're sold out.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I can find them somewhere. I'm like, I don't think that this shoe is
hubris.
I did say that.
I don't think you're just a pair's gonna pop up online.
I did say that. He was right. I do have someone on the case, someone close to all of us. And also for our audience, if you guys find an 11.5 or an 11 in the Inter Milan 97.
Circling back though, but what do you guys think about kind of, when 97s re-released like 2017, I believe, that they were such a popular shoe, restock, gone. And you would think a shoe like a gold 97, even though there may not be like a bunch of fervor for it in the secondary market per se, that like when it releases, Nike's gonna be able to sell the shoes. They have every single size available on their website.
I'm surprised by that, but I don't mind that.
I'm not complaining that people can go out and buy shoes. I'm just surprised that Nike can't sell the shoes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
The gold one was always like a step down from the silver one, though, right? With the silver ones.
I mean, the silver, for what it's worth, the silver is the true OG.
Yes,
the gold is a second wave pair from a couple years later,
like the gold
99, I think.
Right. But I still think that the gold is a shoe that when it came out, for the most part, it would sell out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But all sizes. That to me, that's just nuts because that shoe came out like 3 months ago.
Yeah, you thought it would have done better.
Yeah.
Do you have a pair? Are you a 97 guy? I can't remember. I've ever seen Welty.
I have the silver
97s,
but I bought them in like 2009, 2010, and they're beyond.
Yeah,
cooked.
Yeah.
Not the most comfortable shoe.
And
really slim on the foot.
That was one shoe. I've told it before. First day of 6th grade that I got the. 90, It was they released in 97.
Silver?
Yep, they released that week or whatever that month, and that was my first day of school, 6th grade. Wait a minute. 9th grade.
Okay.
That was the 97 was my first day of school shoe in 9th grade.
Do you remember the flash, the reflective pop?
I just remember that was the sneaker to have.
Yeah.
And I got it, and it was before selling out or whatever, but it was like the first release, first day of school. Those were my first. Laid out all the little the fit with the
I think I was looking too, and not just the gold 97s are on available, but another shoe, Big Brendan Dunne shoe. I believe it's called the Asia Pacific colorway.
Let me check my database.
Am I wrong on that? The blue pair
of Air Max 97s?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which colorway you're talking about. Joe, you mind bringing up a photo for us?
The OG, like the OG-ish, the bluish one with the neon sole.
This.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I never liked that.
39% off.
You know which one I have is the black and neon without the blue on it. Yeah. The black
39% off.
Silver. Yeah, I don't need those.
But that's another shoe that you would expect to come out and then people
full size run of this, like he said.
Yeah.
Just
50% off. I might have to do it.
Listen, you might have a busy week of copping sneakers. You got Corteiz, this.
Mac attacks are right on the horizon.
Yep. Listen.
Yeah.
We said it. Was it last week? I can't keep track. Was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
Last week we said the teaser. I don't know if it really moved us. Nike, Travis, McEnroe.
It's
They
better
redeemed
than
themselves.
Yeah. I almost feel like there might be some hat eating in order because we were on here complaining about how tame and boring the initial teaser for the Mac Attack featuring Travis Scott and John McEnroe was, and Nike went ahead and said, hold my beer. They delivered the full campaign. And it's exactly what you want from John McEnroe and Travis Scott. There's a little pickleball jab in there. It's a bunch of bleeped out curse words.
Some curses from McEnroe. Listen.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
They served up an ace and they aced us, okay? Okay? They hit it to our backhand. We had no response.
Yeah.
The ad came out and then the shoes drop.
What do we think is going to happen with that shoe? That's the real, like...
I mean, I feel like Nike is ready to do major volume on the Mac Attack, and to me, that has been signaled by just how many early pairs they sent out, and the shoe has been around on social media in a really heavy way in the week leading up to its release. I feel like Nike put a bunch of those out, seeded them to influencers and people of that ilk as a way to try and heat up the shoe, and I think that we're going to see a lot of Mac Attack in the next 2 years. It looks like the Travis Scott version of the shoe is actually coming out, according to leakers like Soul Retriever and Z Sneakerhead. So I think just prepare for a all-out attack and all-out assault.
It feels very almost Adidas-y in the build-up, because Nike, for all intents and purposes, never really needed to put that much energy behind things where they just know if they make something cool and do a little party or something that like it's going to...
I mean, I guess, but if the model is something that people aren't really accustomed to or don't know just yet.
I just mean like the build-up is like it felt way more out of Adidas's playbook where like you saw a shoe for like 8 months before it ever came out, where they're slowly like...
In terms of working hard to build energy around it in a more transparent way.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, are you excited for the Mac Attack?
I think it's a cool shoe. It's not one that I would
go
out and buy. The triple black one.
Oh,
someone commented on the episode. Triple black Mac Attack would be nasty business, something like that. Someone commented on the last episode. But
I don't know. It's about the same height as a Black Cat 4.
Maybe a little higher, right?
About the same. I mean, I haven't seen.
We'll do a comparison on here.
I haven't bought a Jordan in a long time.
Jordan SB4?
No, I didn't buy those.
I'm so stupid for not buying those.
I was just
thinking, of course.
I was just thinking about that like today. I haven't bought a Jordan
White
in a
cement
while.
Jordan 3s.
You didn't buy Thunder 4s?
I had Thunder 4s.
The last pair?
I bought them. I think so. Yeah. No, I had Thunder 4. I got those pretty recently, but not the recent release one.
I know the years all blend together, don't they? When you've been doing this for this long.
Yeah, I just mistook 6th and 9th grade. I don't. But yeah, I haven't bought Jordans in a while.
What are you gonna break the seal with? Is there any Jordan coming up that you're interested in?
I got a new pair of 95s though. I'll bring them out.
Which ones?
I'll bring them out.
Oh, it's one of those wait and see.
He told me not to get them.
Somebody tagged me this morning on a pair of used Meta Air Max 95s.
You're on the hunt for those.
Tongue with the prototype. They didn't look that used. I kind of scrolled past it real quick because sometimes when people on social media tempt me with buying a pair of shoes on the resale market, I try and move past it as quickly as possible so I save myself the money. But Luke Kang's Closet had a size 10 for $300 shipped, 3M on the heel, worn off, and from age and starting to crack on the heel.
Why would you want those?
I want this they're not so wearable. Bad.
Yeah, Seinfeld wore them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Seinfeld wore them.
Ronnie outfitted Seinfeld in a pair.
Speaking of Ronnie, over the weekend I had said, "What's a shoe that you love that you think you'll never be able to wear?" And I said Nike Air Rift.
When?
I just posted online.
Oh,
but Ronnie says to me, he goes, "Dude, you can do it."
Oh, look at the vote of confidence.
It did give me like a thought in my head because I love Air Rifts, just like the OG ones. Sure. But there's just like my foot's big.
I know what you mean. That
split like tabby toe. I'm just like afraid. I'm like the no sock. I'm just like I'm afraid I'm gonna put it on and like I like the way it looks, but on my feet I just think it's gonna look absurd to some.
I don't know. You in front of the flank steak, RF putting the battery in your back.
And Ronnie replies, he goes, "Dude, I wear them all the time. You can do it." And I was like, oh, man, if Ronnie tells me that I can get a shoe off, it's like it was like my white Air Force One moment with you at the
And if anyone could do it,
shoot.
Yeah, anyone could do it. He could do it.
You're going to buy in?
Yeah.
Make him proud.
I'd want to, I'll have to look because I really just want like the OGs.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know if
nothing fancy,
nothing like weird or like not like a off colorway. I just would want like the regular ones.
Yeah.
But if they come back out or come back around,
is that a short shoe for you?
I feel like maybe some people wear them with like kind of like army green elasticated pants at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a look, but I think you kind of have to wear.
I don't know. I'll leave that assignment to you. I don't think I could. I mean, not that I think I look cool in anything, but I don't think I could look like a normal human being in a pair of Air Rifts. I feel like that's a difficult assignment.
Joe,
I think that would be a rough one for me.
The calf to like tabby toe.
I think that would be a rough one for me.
Just staying away from it.
Yeah.
Triple black.
I think that would be a rough one for me.
All right,
but who knows?
Somewhere poolside in Miami with a pair of Rifts on.
Yeah, might happen this week.
Are we going to Paris this week?
No, we're not. I thought about that. Everyone geotagging the invites. Look at us. Yeah. A polar seltzer. I got the smart water. He's under the wet. Well, okay. Yeah, no Paris for us.
No.
Times Square is not Paris. And
no Paris. Settle for Perrier.
Okay, a little. But everyone's geotagging Pharrell's. Just so everyone knows, you guys know we record this earlier, around 6 hours, I think, until Pharrell's LV show.
Oh, they're showing today?
Yeah, you gonna live tweet it or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the people want.
He got the new Speedy bags though. They look fire. The Louis Vuittons, and we got the Epi leather pants. Aria is there though on the ground.
Good.
I'm interested to see. He got a burner account. Skateboard.
Yeah.
Is the burner account.
Oh, yeah, we'll see what emerges from that.
Speaking of burner accounts.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
What is that account called? JoJo. What is
with
this?
With the
reps? They're not reps though. They're
the boo boo foo foo.
Yeah, the 12s.
Yeah.
What is his name? JoJo something.
Set the internet ablaze. Those.
JoJo Ruski. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar out here buying
Canal Street,
buying his Jordans from the same place we get the worst take sneakers on full size run for. Why is the internet so bad today?
I don't know. Mine's going in.
My
How do we
LTE
feel about those?
The cold game 12s on.
Hell, wow.
Yeah, the nice kicks 12s. No, I respect it. I respect it. I was down there. It's. Did
you try to cop a pair?
Y'all ever walk along Canal Street and just see the shoes that they have for sale? It's incredible.
What do we think about those?
I mean, what is there to think about it? It just is what it is.
Yeah. I don't really think he's changing the game in any way, but it was a funny moment.
A lot of earned media on it.
Hey.
Saw that popping up.
If this had happened in like 2013, Days of Complex, and you saw Kendrick post that, and you're like, oh, that was a cool moment, you'd like send an intern to like try to copy you a pair to see if you could.
Well, that's good content. That's why. It's good content. And also, maybe we should do something on that.
Yeah? You want me to go buy a pair right after this?
Go do a man. Actually, let's stop recording. You leave. Go do man on the street with the Kendrick 12s in Canal Street, and we'll reconvene because that's good content.
He was also wearing Adidas Sambas.
Saw that as well.
What might that mean?
Look at the Arthur meme. Go ahead.
There's no meme. There's no meme.
Okay.
But is there might be no memeing, but is there any meaning behind that? No, I don't know.
Any of your sources?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just something to note.
Maybe we bring the trigger meter back to this show? No.
Nope.
Different show.
I'm good.
All right.
Although you do see a lot of Sambas.
I know.
Where were you?
No, I mean you just see it.
Yeah.
Like,
but they look good.
Yeah, all online, like IRL, you just see a lot of it.
I'm not mad at it.
Me either.
No, I'm not saying you're mad at it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at
what?
it. I'm not mad at it.
Madden? Add it. Oh, nice.
I learned it from him.
Nice. Joe setting it up perfectly. Let's bring on our guest.
Let's do it. Our guest on today's podcast has been a prolific footwear designer for over 4 decades. He started out working in a shoe store at 16 and then parlayed his love for the business into his own brand that would go on to offer luxury shoe designs at more affordable prices. Throughout a storied career with some ups and downs, the brand that bears his name turned into a multi-billion-dollar company with immense staying power. Here to talk about his history, which is captured in his recently released book, The Cobbler, How I Disrupted an Industry, Fell from Grace, and Came Back Stronger Than Ever, is Steve Madden. Steve, welcome. Thanks so much for taking the time.
It's great to be here.
Very excited.
Yeah. Oh, don't get too excited.
All right. Well, long weekend. We're happy that you're here.
Yes.
Steve, we want to talk about, as is custom around here, the shoes we're all wearing. So can you tell us what you have on right now?
I'm wearing this Oxford. Can you see it?
Yeah.
From Steve Madden.
Okay.
Available now?
Available now. Every Steve Madden store.
How much were those
Macy's,
on me?
Nordstrom. I think they're about $130.
Okay.
Are you the fit model for all the shoes? They have to fit your feet perfect?
I am not. The shoe looks swell on me.
Yeah.
It really does.
No socks or no shows?
No socks.
Okay, he does the no-show socks.
People get on me about no-shows. They're like, why are you wearing no socks? And I'm like, you don't never heard of a no-show sock?
You know what? I think that you're on to something.
I don't know about that because it'll ruin your ankles. But
Okay.
Discussion
All
for
right.
another day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the ALD New Balance 860V2. This is the one that I famously wore to Gov Ball and got dirtied up. So let me know
pretty
if
good
they
to
look
me.
You
reasonably
got
clean, please.
You got the sins off the shoes.
I hope so.
Looks pretty good to me. I'm also doing New Balance. I'm doing the Palace 991. Wore these all
Been
weekend.
a favorite of yours lately?
Yeah, in the rotation.
I know we talked about Hannon last episode. These are the Hannon Diodora, inspired by James McFadden's goal for Scotland against France. So.
Okay. I want to take it all the way back to the beginnings. 16 years old was the first shoe store you worked in. Is that when you really fell in love with like footwear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. You know, sometimes you tell a story so many times. I wrote a book called The Cobbler, and it's out there now. Sometimes you know, the story, you wonder if it's really true. Did I do that? I'm making this shit up, you know. But actually, it's true. I was in high school. I was a caddy.
Okay.
And I was a little guy, and I was a caddy, and the bags were bigger than me. And anyway, I went to a shoe store in town, and I asked for a job, and I got the job.
And was it like women's shoes, sneakers, athletic, or everything?
It was mostly 80% women's shoes and 20% men's shoes.
Okay.
No
And
sneakers, not really sneakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say like that's where you obviously the first job is always like at 16 where, you know, you're told like 16 years old, time to get a job. But was it something more about footwear that really attracted you to like work at a shoe store for your first job?
So there was a couple of, yes. I mean, it did create a little, bug. And first of all, the owner of the store was a really cool guy. He was, like 10 years older than me. I was something like that. He was like 27. He had his own business. It was like, what? He was cool, and I thought, I want to be, because I'm used to businessmen. Like when you're a kid in the suburbs, it's all old men with fedoras going to the Long Island Railroad. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought of as a businessman, like an older guy with a briefcase. And here's this guy, 28 years old, and cool. All the girls like him, and he owns a shoe store.
Yeah.
And he designs shoes, the guy, on top of everything else. So it was really cool. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Did athletic footwear mean anything to you at the time? I think sometimes we take it for granted that, us growing up, that was what we wanted to wear. Sneakers, running shoes, basketball shoes. Did that resonate with you at all in that period?
Actually, it didn't. It didn't. My earliest memory is going with my dad to buy a pair of Chuck Taylors.
Okay.
Went to the Army Navy store in Far Rockaway, and and the shoes were too big on me, and I was so. I don't know why I remember this.
Yeah.
The guy put his finger on my toe.
Yeah, see how much space there was in there.
And there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And my father said, "You could swim in those shoes." And I didn't get them, and I was heartbroken because everybody wore Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
And so that was my first sneaker thought.
Were there other ones that were alluring to you as a child or as an adolescent or even into your early 20s?
Not really.
When Nike first started booming in the 70s?
I never was a sneaker guy. I worked in, I wore golf shoes a lot. I was a golfer, a caddy and a golfer, so golf shoes were big. And, we all wore sneakers. I mean, everybody wore sneakers. It wasn't quite sort of the obsession that my son has.
Yeah.
Or kids have, that obsession. My buddy Michael Rappaport is always wearing cool Nikes.
Yeah, we know Rappaport.
And he's always like, these are cool, and I don't even, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I mean, I do have so much admiration for Phil Knight.
Yeah.
You ever met him?
I haven't, no.
No?
I suppose I should.
Yeah.
It's so funny because my ex-wife's sister works for Nike.
Okay.
So it's kind of, but I'd like to meet him, but everybody's talking about that new movie, by the way.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I fell asleep, but I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
I watch it with my son. And if somebody's not getting killed in the first 3 minutes, my son's not interested. He's 15 years old.
But you said he's into sneakers.
Yeah, how big?
He is a sneaker freak.
And how many is like he asking for or getting like a month?
Always asking for sneakers.
Really?
Yeah. And he
he's
loves
lining
them.
up and reselling them and all that stuff?
No, he's not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm selling sneakers.
Yeah.
His dad is selling sneakers.
Yes.
But I'm a big fan of what Nike has done. And also, Adidas and all of that, and Puma. They're great companies, and I was given an award with Stan Smith. The two of us won an award just coincidentally together. And it's such a great sneaker, the Stan Smith sneaker.
Yeah.
Classic.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
And it looks
Iconic.
great on women and men, and I shouldn't be promoting that. It's my competition. But I got to
Stan
meet,
will be happy to see.
I got to meet Stan. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's such a humble, awesome, man. And his kids all wear Steve Madden, and
Nice.
And so it was cool.
Steve, in the industry, there's always the term of being a shoe dog, right? Like
yeah.
someone who's worked in footwear their whole life.
I'm a shoe dog.
Yeah.
for
What
sure.
do you think makes someone a shoe dog or draws them to being one?
Wasn't that the name of Phil's
Yes.
book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have used that. I used the cobbler. on
You
my
almost said
book.
he stole that from me.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
But I call myself a shoe dog.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Phil does. Just an obsession with shoes. We just love it, and we love everything about it. And I love women's shoes, and love making money. With shoes. No, I mean it. I don't mean. It's a mercenary thing, but it's so great to make money with something you love doing and something you love creating. It's such a good sort of combination. And so we're dogs. We're sniffing them out. We're just looking. I meet people,
Yeah.
and I look at their shoes first.
Yeah.
Yeah, automatic.
Yeah, automatically. I'm shaking their hand, and I'm looking at their feet. It's embarrassing for my family.
Well, we always get the age-old question, like, your hobby is shoes. Why do you need more than 2 pair? Why do you need more than 5 pair? How do you, respond to, that old question? It's like a question we still get. You've been in the business a lot longer than we have, but, what do you think it is about the footwear and what drives people to, collecting and building their collection?
Yeah. Well, thank God they do it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for me, and it's good for Phil. Shoes are, women's shoes. Let's talk about women's shoes because women's shoes really can change your personality. A girl can put on a pair of high heels, and all of a sudden she feels, all sort of curvy and hot and whatever, and feminine, and of course, with flats she can feel another way, and they're not super expensive, and so I think you can buy tons of them. So I don't know. I mean, the sneaker thing is quite a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of different than my experience.
Did it ever seem like a threat to what you were doing in terms of this shift that happened when people started to be so much more into sneakers, or sneakers were more salient and you could wear them in other places?
Actually, only now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only now. We make a lot of sneakers at Steve Madden, fashion sneakers.
Right.
They're great. But the funny thing is, to that question, I never had a problem. But my daughter, Stevie, I have a daughter, Stevie, and she wears Jordans all the time. And it drives me fucking crazy.
Why?
Because she should wear Steve Madden. And she wears Jordans all
But
the
who
time.
bought her the Jordans?
Well, I mean, you can't turn your little girl down, So
When your kids want sneakers,
they love sneakers.
are you looking at them and are you assessing how well they're made and things like that? Are you looking at them from the eyes of a shoe dog?
I'm into the look.
Yeah.
That's always where I come from. That's not to say that I don't have quality and all of that bit or the fit. And I don't care about that as much. I care about how they look, and that's just now. You can't really be successful if that's all your shoes are. They have to be comfortable. They have to be good quality. But I'm into the look. That's my thing. I want to, what are you looking like, And ultimately, I really think that that's what most people, frankly, care about.
Yeah.
How cutthroat is the sneaker business for you and like the other brands who are playing in your own space? Are you like, I want to bury them?
I do have those feelings. Of course, I will share them with my therapist later.
This is therapy right here, Steve.
It is therapy. It's great. Look, business is a war.
Yeah.
And, I'm on the other side of it now. But when I say I'm on the other side of it, I'm almost done. I'm in the 8th inning. And, and I've won a lot. And, so I still feel the same way. I still want everybody to wear my shoes all the time. Perhaps there are other things that are more important to me now. Mm-hmm. I was late to the game with kids. I have 2 16-year-olds and a 10-year-old. And so. But
in the height of you being obsessed in the sneaker business, like just how cutthroat were you in the game?
Well, it's like I said, it's a war. So I don't fuck with Nike and Adidas, but, I don't play with those guys. But, in my space, it's very much cutthroat.
And so, like, even if there was a specific pair of Air
Yes.
Jordans that you loved, or Stan Smith, who you said is such a great guy, would you ever buy one pair of those, or no?
Would I
Yes.
wear them?
Yes.
I don't think I would.
Okay.
No. But I admire the hell out of them, and I only wear Steve Madden, and I have a pair of beat-up engineer boots from Carolina Boot Company. That's what I wear.
You never got your Chuck Taylors.
I did maybe get them.
Yeah.
You had to have them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You had to have Chucks. But yeah, it's cutthroat, and business is tough, and business is a war. And, I liken my company to a sports franchise. Mm-hmm. Trading, getting new players, investing in the franchise, very similar, in many respects. Viewing that, having your great players retire, that's really hard.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like when the Knicks had to get, with Patrick, right? What was that like for them?
Yeah.
Or even, look how many teams Shaquille played for after the Lakers, right? And that's a really tough one. When I was a kid, I remember Walt Frazier, who's the announcer, getting traded to Cleveland, I think. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Can that be?
Yeah.
And so, I have that too. I have people that have been with me a while, and they're kind of done, and you don't really. Hollywood gives them, when they let go of people, they give them production. They'll give them production
Credits.
deals, which is a way of firing them. But
But what if you have like a new upcoming talent?
I love that.
That's working for you, that is crushing it, but then they see like a bigger opportunity and they leave.
So that's a good point. That's good. And you have to make sure that you have the great environment and you pay well. We pay well. And, to keep your stars happy. That's a good call out.
Do you expect loyalty from them in terms of when they leave or how long they should stay around?
Romantically, like you do have this feeling of loyalty. I actually now believe that you provide a great work environment, you pay very well, and that's how you get loyalty. I don't think that people, just be loyal to me because I'm, Steve Madden. No, I don't believe in that. I think you have to show loyalty to them. And that's things you learn over time,
Right.
Everybody's a business person,
Right.
Especially talented people. So they're all business people. And so you have to view it in that context.
So if someone designs like the hot shoe of the season and they're making $100,000 a year, do they like come knocking on your door saying, hey, we sold 1 million units of this, you need to pay me more?
Sure. Why not? Everybody does it.
And how are you receptive to that?
I'm receptive. I'm very much COD. You do good, you get paid good. I'm very much of that school. Now, a lot of people have contracts, but I think that what you're proposing is actually the new world order, frankly. And people sign contracts out of fear, right? And of course, in sports, it's different because you could get hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's different. I think it's foolish to have. If I was an employee of Steve Madden, I wouldn't have a contract. I'd be like, I'm going to kill it. You're going to pay through the nose, buddy. Yeah. That's what I would do if I was an employee. But a lot of them have contracts, and so, but I'm very much COD. I like that.
One thing that we've dealt with, especially over the last decade and a half, is kind of the celebrity influence. And I know that your brand has worked so closely with celebrities, but also celebrities just wear them. Yeah. Wear the product. Talk about like how important that is and what ones like stick out, endorsers or kind of campaigns that you've done that stick out as like real needle movers.
We've done some collabs with a lot of people. And I think the truth is that today it's different. It's influencers.
Yeah.
There's if a girl like Alex Earl wears the shoes, it's a huge deal. I mean, she's an influencer, and it used to be Charlie D'Amelio.
Yeah.
And I actually think they're more influential than some of the superstars out there.
Really? And you believe in this model of if this person is important enough on social media and they're wearing the shoe, that's going to translate into real sales for you?
Yes, for sure. And I dig it also. I actually like it on some level. I mean, unless it's just like the biggest star in the universe.
Well, like in 2018, Taylor Swift wore a pair of your sneakers. And like the Cliff, I think they were called.
Well, Taylor Swift is a mega super. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if
she's an American phenomenon.
Yes.
You can't, it's really remarkable what she's done.
Yes.
I've never seen anything quite like it. So Taylor Swift would be one that would be great.
Yeah.
And she's tremendous. When she came here, I mean, the girls were freaking out. And it was really a phenomenon. It was great to see. However, Taylor Swift had a line. She did a thing with Keds a few years ago. It was a dud. But I think unless it's just somebody that's a supernova like Taylor and, like Rihanna.
Yeah.
I mean, Beyonce had a line for years. Complete flop.
Yeah.
Flop of flops.
You mean her Adidas line?
No, she had a line. She did a shoe line and had another name. I can't remember the name. But it was a complete dog. I just can't remember the name. But I mean, she's a great star. And so, but getting back to that point, like I always was interested. Like the cool girls in school wear the shoe, and then everybody follows the cool girls. Like I always thought that was so fascinating how that works. Yeah. The way the universe works. Yeah. And so now you have this online thing where the cool girls can go online and show what they're wearing and affect hundreds of thousands or millions of kids, and it's really cool, and it's great. And, it's a different ballgame today.
Steve, you say a minute ago being such a shoe dog yourself. We're in Times Square right now. You have a store literally right around the corner from this office. When you leave here, do you have it in your mind like, I'm going to go walk by and see what's going on?
I've already walked by this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go in?
I did. So it's a busy store, and it's we have our name on the sort of news feed.
It's gigantic.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's
do
a great
you, do you still check to make sure everybody
I'm in stores all the time.
Steve Madden footwear? I know you said that in the book that you want to make sure that everybody who's working for you is wearing the shoes.
You can't work there without them.
Has it ever happened?
Out.
Have you ever been
Off
into
the
a store
floor.
and seen
That's
somebody
it.
wearing?
Oh, yeah.
Go change.
Do you see like the reaction? Like, do you announce that you're going to a store, or you just walk in? Or
no, I don't announce it. I don't. And now that I'm older, You know, it's a funny bit, but everybody knows something. You know, my face is not super well known. The name is a household name in America now.
Once this episode drops.
Yeah, then it'll change.
Forget about it.
No, but I mean, some people know me in certain pockets of the country, you know,
sure.
but I always tell the people, do not tell them it's me unless they ask. You know, if they ask, is that him? You know, you say yes. But of course, if they see this old cocker in a baseball hat, you know, they're going to wonder who the fuck that guy is. You know? I love going to stores. I love retail. So
Do you ever get like interactions with store employees who are completely oblivious that you're the person who owns
that
the
is
store?
so much fun when that happens. It doesn't happen a lot because there's video streaming in some of the stores of me.
And the manager may be like, hey, let's see Matt.
Yeah, but it does happen once in a while.
Wow.
It's kind of cool. It's okay. I like that. I like that. But I go to there's stores and I enjoy it so much. I love going to a store on a Saturday and when it's busy. It's actually
You get like excited
my
inside.
happiest moment. It is a very great feeling. Yeah.
Obviously, like 3.5, 4 decades in, how in the weeds are you when it comes to designs? Especially like, you know, there's a sneakers podcast. So for like the men's sneaker line that like you could currently get, how in the weeds are you like currently with the models that you could get in the store or online?
Yeah, I'm very much in the weeds. I have a lot of help, lots of people, big design team, you know, but I'm very much in it and think about shoes every day, every minute of every day.
Is it a sickness?
It's not a sickness. What I do for a living, you know, it's how I pay the rent and how I feed my children.
I know, but I feel the same way in terms of thinking about them all the time, and sometimes I have to pause and question: have I invested too much of my happiness in this thing? Is too much of my life reliant on this thing in terms of how content I feel and how accomplished I feel?
That's a great thing to think about. Actually, it's always good to reflect on your life. I mean. I might have felt like that at some point in my life. I don't feel like that now. This is what I do, and I love it, and so I feel very lucky. It's very serendipitous, and you know, like me and you were going to make a gratitude list.
Yeah.
You know, we would write down like, well, we do this thing that we both really like, and we're making some money at it.
Yeah.
So it would go on our list.
Yeah.
On the other side of the list would be like, oh, my nose is too big. You know, I'm not tall.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
I have no hair.
I can't relate to that.
You have great hair.
Thank you.
Okay.
If nothing else.
Just want to, but it's okay. Yes. It is on the top of my gratitude list. Yes, for sure.
Steve, have you seen Master P's sneaker brand, Magnati? I know that he's someone that you said.
No, I really admire him. I like Master P, and I have not seen that, and I will. I am such a fan of his.
When did you become a Master P fan?
First of all, I was incarcerated. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh, yeah.
I was with...
Yeah.
So I was in the South, and where a lot of people from New Orleans
in Florida,
go.
right?
Huh?
In Florida?
Yeah, I was in Florida, but a lot of people from New Orleans were there. And a couple of them lived in the project where Master P is from. So I felt like, you know, I'd hear stories about him. My friend Neville, who works for the company, always talks about Master P from the Callio projects, and which is no joke. You know, like it's the real McCoy, like maybe the worst in the country.
Right.
And but what he's done with his life, and I followed him on YouTube and Reels. I see his interviews, and I just really am inspired by him, and want to get together with him. I'm trying to get with him.
He was on their show. Maybe we can make it happen.
I'd love to meet him and try to do something with him, like charity work or you know, for young kids. I like the story about how Master P went to prison and got Snoop's contract from Suge Knight. That is a cool story. And you know, it was you know, he's you know, so anyway, I dig him, and I know he's a little drama now, but that happens with drama. No big deal. And I also could see that, you know, his the whole story. And I don't know every detail.
I mean, you've had a little bit of drama in your life.
I've had a lot of drama. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of drama, but I actually think he's a great father and a power of example. And he's saying, look, you got to, I'm here, but you got to do your thing, man. And I don't think it's a terrible message.
Yeah.
And the kid's mad and he goes online now, That's more or less what happened.
Sure.
And I think he's a great dad and a great, and I feel for him. It was like that story of, there was a story about Alec Baldwin, the actor, and they got him on tape calling his daughter.
I remember that a while
But you
ago.
know what? Who hasn't called their kids names? I'm sorry. That is so unfair. Like I've said,
relatable.
I've said to him, I said, you lazy bum, get up. But if you just hear lazy, he called his son a lazy bum, shout out to my son, Jack Madden. But he's, what I'm trying to say. So I think, he's probably a great father too.
Can we talk about the footwear when you were incarcerated? Did you have nice shoes when you were locked up? What was that situation
I had a pair
like?
of work boots, steel toe work boots made by, I think it was Carolina Shoe Company, but it might have been Georgia Boot Company. One of those two, but I think it was Carolina.
Yeah.
And I love them. And I miss those shoes.
We've just heard so many stories from people who we've interviewed in the past about, making sure they were able to get a fresh pair of Air Force Ones in jail,
I
or
didn't care
sneaking
about that.
shoes into jail and things like that.
no.
People weren't trying to get a pair from you.
Well, you could buy sneakers in the commissary.
You didn't aspire to, though?
No, I didn't.
Because they weren't Steve Madden.
No, and I like the rugged. I felt like, like I was in a combat situation, a war. I wasn't in a combat. I never had any threats of violence.
Sure.
I don't mean to imply that, but I meant like just trying to survive this horrible, being in prison is so horrible. And the day to day, and, it's just, you can't even imagine what it was like. And I hope you never have to. So I wore these boots symbolically, like I'm in combat.
But you were ready for anything
And
mentally.
I'm going to, wear these boots every day and just get through this. And, it was just sort of part of my survival kit, if you will. And
Steve, you talk about prison right now. Obviously, people know you from the movie Wolf of Wall Street. It's true story. I think there's an iconic sneaker scene in the film Jordan Belfort where he's on a load of drugs trying to get into the car, and he has a pair of Nike Corteiz.
Yes.
On his feet, or when he's struggling.
Yeah.
When you saw that scene and he was wearing the Corteiz,
it was something else to see that movie. They had a private screening for us. They took us down. I went with my brother and a bunch of...
Were you nervous?
I was so nervous. My heart was pounding. So I didn't know what I was going to look like. I knew it was a big part of the film, and thought, oh, God, my kids are going to see this. And, and it's Martin Scorsese, it was the greatest filmmaker. And it was just... But it was good film. It was pretty accurate, and it was funny as hell. And I was okay. I mean, I came out of it actually even more famous, or whatever the word is.
Did you see a boost in sales after the film?
Really?
Especially in men's, yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Young men really loved that film.
Yes.
They really identified. Jordan was a kind of a hero to those guys.
And it's such a rewatchable. Anytime you're flicking through the channels, at any time you could hop into that movie and rewatch it.
Did you send Leo some sneakers or no?
No, but it was really something. I did see Leo. I saw him at a restaurant in New York. He bought me a drink.
Nice.
It was very nice of him. And
Carbone?
And no, it was a place called Scalinatella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was a good movie, and we survived it. We survived the movie, and was with young men. I became famous, and then there's this famous scene in the movie where they're stoned on these pills, and they're saying my name, Steve.
Yes, Jonah Hill, very slow.
And when I'm walking in New York, people hit me with that. Like, I'll hear Steve Madden. In fact, at Barclays, because we're net season ticket holders, they put me on the Jumbotron and they play that part of the movie.
Oh, nice.
And you have to just grin through it.
Of course, I have to wave.
Yeah.
Wasn't it through Barclays that you met Ja Rule?
I did a collab with Ja Rule. I did a sneaker line with Ja Rule called Maven.
Didn't you meet him through going to Nets games?
No, I took him to the Net game.
Got it.
I don't know where. I met him with Irv Gotti.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Oh God. Ja Rule is just the greatest. He is just the funniest. I mean, you go out with Ja Rule, you are going to laugh the whole night.
I can't wait.
Such a funny guy.
Is he going to take you to Firefest? Or?
No, we didn't go to. I missed that part of the Ja Rule story. Ja Rule is the greatest guy. But you didn't know what he was getting himself into. He's the greatest guy. I love this guy. I don't know why Ja Rule is not a TV or a movie star. Honestly, he's a great-looking guy.
He was in one of the Fast and the Furious movies.
He is the coolest dude. He should be like on TV because he's great. And he's so funny. We go to games and we have the best time. And him and Irv, they should film these two guys in action because they're so funny.
Irv could just talk and talk. And an Irv Gotti interview you can't like miss. And it could go on for hours.
He gets himself in trouble. But he's a great guy. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I know he got in trouble with the DMX thing, something like that, which I didn't understand that.
Did he bring you to the Versus battle he did like a year or two ago with
No.
Fat Joe?
No, but Fat Joe is great too.
You know, Fat Joe is one of the biggest sneakerheads in the world.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he's also a great example for kids.
Do you know Fat Joe?
I don't. I've seen him around, but we don't know
Okay.
each other. I don't know him. Not like I know Irv and Ja. They're great guys.
How did you approach him about doing a sneaker together?
I think Irv just put it together. We had so much fun with it. And Irv is like my matchmaker. And met Bernard Hopkins with Irv and Ja. That was great. That was really cool. Yeah.
Kind of, you brought up Shaq, and tangentially related, Shaq has been so successful selling kind of like design takeoffs of Jordans at more of an affordable price. Yeah. Is it fair to say like you would take high fashion shoes and like tweak them and at a more affordable price?
It's fair to say. It is very fair to say. But also what we don't, I mean, that's just a small part of what we do. I always say Steve Madden, it's like a big pot of stew, and I throw in some Balenciagas and this and that, and I mix it up, and dreams and creativity, and we have our own sort of viewpoint.
Has any brands come after you for making something?
All day and night.
And what's
Really?
That like? What's
Everybody.
What's that
Well,
like?
Nike's...
Not Nike. No, I don't think I ever had. I might have, but I don't remember.
Because
I know
Nike's
Adidas.
going...
Well, I made a shoe with 5 stripes, and they sued me, those motherfuckers.
Okay.
Were you incredulous at the idea of
You thought adding 2 stripes, you're in the clear, right?
I did, actually.
Okay.
I actually did. So it turns out, and I'm not actually sure of the accuracy of this, but 4 stripes is okay, but 5 stripes is not
K-Swiss
okay.
was 4, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but it
Okay.
was something like that. But we had a very big men's shoe, about little sort of bowling shoe kind of thing. And I don't remember if we've ever been sued by. I'm sure we have.
But good lawyers.
I'm sure I have.
Good lawyers.
You know, but I don't take it personally.
What was the resolution of that striped sneaker? What happened?
We just stopped doing it, or
Yeah.
I always say it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yeah.
This is so random. This is so random, and we could cut this because it may be inaccurate. Did you ever do a Jeremy Shockey shoe?
I did do work with Jeremy Shockey.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm a huge Giant fan.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you cut it out. I mean,
No, because I didn't know if I literally
misremembered
know
it,
that because I was working at Roosevelt Field.
Yeah.
And I was on my lunch break, and I would just like on your lunch break would walk the mall, and I loved Jeremy Shockey because I was a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I loved his attitude, and I remember it almost looked kind of like the Diesel Wish sneaker, but it was a Jeremy Shockey
Yes.
Steve Madden collab, and I was
Yeah.
like, I may have to buy this because I had the Jeremy Shockey jersey, but anything about it's such a random fact. That's why.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. I remember that. We worked with a lot of people, and we still will.
Yeah.
We still will do stuff.
Do you like those random projects? How would you like?
It's-
Where did
it's
Jeremy
hard
Shockey?
to-
I know
well-
the Miami guys, but where did the Jeremy Shockey?
Well, I'd love to do it, but they're grabbed by Nike right away. A lot of guys,
Got it.
whatever,
Yeah.
or the other guy in Maryland, the one that
Under Armour.
Under Armour, yeah. And so it's hard to do. You want to find maybe, someone that is you take a risk with somebody maybe, but they get scooped up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I know maybe now with the new stuff with colleges and high school,
Yeah.
can do
NIL deals.
NIL, you could do some stuff, but pretty much Nike covers a wide swath.
They go like immediately. It's tough, huh?
It is tough. It's hard to do it. I talked to Stephen Marbury about bringing back his shoe.
Oh, the Starberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we just couldn't get together. Really cool guy. We got to. He told me all about China, and he was a really great guy. And I was interested in doing that opening. I think the idea is good. The opening price point sneaker.
Steve, I mean, you just mentioned before, like the brands coming after you with legalities. Given everything that's happened in the past with the brand, like legal wise, did you get any sort of anxiety when that sort of stuff comes up? Like, oh crap, here we go again, or
No,
no,
not really. No, I mean,
You're a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
Just built for it. Built for it.
I'm a veteran of the legal wars.
For 40 years.
No, I don't really like it, but it's part of the business.
you got to throw the Carolina boots on and get ready for the war.
That's it. I love my I'm going to go in. I have a pair of Carolina engineer boots that got holes in them. I love them so much. And I have that same feeling sometimes. I put a T-shirt on, I go to work, off to war,
What are your battles these days? What are the things that cause you great stress at work?
That's such a great question.
It's good.
The battles. Well,
Sometimes you look at people who have done so well for themselves and you think, what's the worst part of their day job or the worst part of their life?
that's a great question. And I'm going to tell you, the thing about that is people that have done so well are no different from everybody else. Everybody looks in the mirror, sees a big nose, sees a zit. No, like you think, like, oh, Madonna or,
Leonardo
whatever,
DiCaprio,
Leonardo.
yeah.
But Leonardo, whatever, everybody's got their own insecurities. I know this. I do know this. And so the internal struggles are to try to be a better father, and that's not easy. You do what you can. I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Sure.
And you want to be a better father and a better human being, and that's a whole other thing. I mean, the world comes at you. It's mean and tough, and you're trying to work and make money and survive. And, it's easy to be, I'm going to, meditate in the morning and light it, but, the world comes at you hard. So I'm a sober man also, so completely clean and sober. And that's that challenge every day. That's a challenge. That's every day. We call it a daily reprieve.
Right.
And so that's one thing.
What about at work?
At work, yeah, you want to,
Is it a giant contract with a factory that fell through? Is it losing an exec? Like what?
I have great people working for me and working with the company. So it's a little easier for me. I've really, delegated so much. And so it's not so dependent on me. And trying to be useful, recognizing that things have changed. So I'm not going to score 40 a night, right?
Yeah.
But I want to contribute. I want to contribute. How do I contribute them? Now I'm a cheerleader. How is it different? I do more podcasts.
Yeah.
It's that kind of, what I'm saying? It's a different, you don't want to be, I could understand why guys retire.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a struggle.
Steve, you talking about the celebrities in 2014, you had a line with Kendall and Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
I imagine, did you have work with Kris Jenner on that too? I
didn't. I got to hang out, spent some time with the girls, and the problem with that collab was it's Steve Madden customers. So at some point I want to be like, that's cool, but it's me. This.
You want a bit of credit rather than
sometimes there's only room for one diva, right?
Would you have done it different now or no?
Well,
now that
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I've worked with a lot of divas, and I've had my share of little tiffs with them, and with the girl from Australia. What was her name? The rapper.
Iggy Azalea?
Iggy Azalea. We had a fight.
What happened there?
So Iggy Azalea, she was great. I admired her very much. Like this Australian white girl, doing this stuff is great, and so there was some of our stylists put one of her shoes on with socks, and she went crazy in social media instead of calling me and saying I don't like that shot. She went online, and I had to fire her, and but we've worked with Cardi B.
Do you call her personally though? When
I don't know how I did it. I just dumped it. Just a complete idiot. And but we worked with a lot of people. Cardi B was terrific. We had such a good time.
Awesome.
Such a great woman, and we've worked with so many people.
Lady
Gaga, great, wonderful woman. Met Lady Gaga at her house. She was renting a house in Bel Air, and went to see her, and I said, oh, my God, I'm a big fan. I love your music. And she said, I couldn't go to high school without wearing Steve Madden's. She went to Sacred Heart here in Manhattan.
Wasn't she a long...
No, she went to Sacred Heart.
Okay.
And she said, oh, my God, you couldn't, be in 10th grade without your Steve Madden. So it was a really sweet exchange that we had. And she played me a tape of her new song. And
you still talk?
I haven't spoken to her. I saw her getting off a private plane, but she was surrounded by a phalanx of bodyguards.
She was busy.
And so I didn't say, hey, Gaga.
Not a tiff, but what do you think? I think you've spoken about this before, but our audience very familiar with this guy. What do you think of the Jay-Z line when in the song?
Oh, that was great. It's funny. It's so funny that you brought that up. Jay-Z, I was in prison when that came out.
This is on Excuse Me Miss Again. He said Fake Manolo
Fake
Boots.
Manonos by Steve Madden.
Yeah.
It was so great. I was in prison. I'm trying to keep a low profile, and it hit. And
it gave you street cred?
It did, actually. It was really kind of funny.
It didn't hurt?
No, it didn't hurt. No.
Did you ever speak to Jay about it?
I did.
Really?
I did speak to him about it. I went to a party, and he was at it with his wife, and we talked about it. I don't know if he even... I don't even know if I think he sort of giggled when I told him the story.
Yeah.
And that was it. And, I didn't... He's such a big star.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've heard interactions where a lot of people will be like, hey, remember this to him? And he's just like, yeah, or laughs it off.
By the way, that's what happened.
Yeah.
He giggled. I wasn't going, it was fine. His wife, on the other hand, was super nice, super courteous, super respectful.
Steve Madden fan, you think?
Yeah, she was. She was really great.
We had a similar conversation actually with Stan Smith on the podcast where Jay-Z name dropped him, and I believe his children thought he was cool from that point on. Did your children hear the Jay-Z reference and think, hey, my dad's
before
cool?
My children were born.
Oh.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll ever be cool.
In case you have to ever remind them.
I will.
Yeah.
I will carry around with a tape of that. And play it for people.
The book is out. Such history, and you've detailed your life. But what is one takeaway you would want the audience to get from the book?
So I would say I would like maybe some young men out there who are, getting wasted and feel like, there's no hope, that they can get some hope from the book and from the story. That would be great. And if I could just get to one, that would be great too. Save one life, that would be awesome.
Because you came out, you weathered the storm, and the company.
Yeah.
Listen, this has been great. Thank you so much for
much fun.
taking
Great
the
to
time.
see you guys.
Yeah, we really
Yes, I
appreciate
enjoyed
it.
Yeah.
So much history. We need to get a picture of the Shockey. I'm
We gotta get the Shockey.
I'm gonna look online. I just remember being a young kid being like, I'm pulling up to the Giants game in these.
Yeah.
So, but I can't really find a picture online. We
gotta find it.
Yeah, well, we gotta
I
put
might
it
know
in here.
someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you so much, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Great.
All right, everyone. This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. We will see you next week.